Hey, what's up, guys? Back with back with a vid here today. Finally, I'm back from Paradise, and yeah. So this video is gonna focus on a tank I actually kind of wanted to have probably when it first came out, but mostly because of how low tier it is. I know I wasn't gonna play it that much compared to some of my other tanks, tier 8 to 10. So I never really got it. I think initially you could only get it through like a war story or something like that when it initially was released, and I was away when that happened. So yeah, but now that it was in the store, I believe starting like a month ago or so, I got it. Snakebite. I should probably say the name of the tank, but yeah, and it's the ultimate, I guess you could say, in speed for light tanks. Again, it's only tier 6, and if you've been on the channel around a while, you know that I generally prefer to stick to tiers 8 through 10, just because I prefer just more damage, better challenge, personally for me. I don't feel like this is fair to an extent, putting me with most of my crews are 10 plus perks there in my light tanks. In tier 6 matchmaking, it's kind of filthy, to be fair. But you will have noticed at the beginning of this match, maybe, the hilarious ammo loadout that I have on this. Some people, I comment about it every single time I've played this tank so far. Why do you only have one AP round? Well, it's obvious I'm not carrying a full Prem loadout. Duh. But yeah, it's really just kind of as a joke, to be fair. This gun only has 91 millimeters of pen on the AP rounds, and still the APCR is only 144. So, for a tank that's fighting tanks, you'll see what I mean. Even with APCR, well, also the gun handling is pretty trash with 0.41 accuracy. If we ever hit the Tiger, which we eventually do, we pen that one, but then we're going to just keep bouncing and bouncing, and we're going to bounce some more off a Tiger 1. So, yeah. That's how great the gun is on this tank. So, that's the reason for the full APCR loadout. It's one of only 2 tanks I think I do that on. The other being the T110E4, but that's for just sheer frustration and taking my anger out a little bit. And because it's memes, just to be fair. But yeah. This tank, if you really want to be effective in it, I think it needs that 91 millimeters of pen when you're fighting IS-3s and whatever else not at tier 8, but in tier 8 games or even tier 7s. Have fun with that. But, you know, each their own. And now we're just going to push the Frenchman into the water, give him a little bath, and we're going to move on our way. This game actually came from my live stream before I left for the Virgin Islands about almost 2 weeks ago now. Yeah, I was running some platoons with some subs, followers on Twitch, and I asked who has a snakebite, and we all did. So this was kind of a joke platoon, to be fair, but fortunately for me, and fortunately for us, we got a very favorable map for these tanks. The second video won't be so favorable, what map we get, but we can use the maneuverability and the speed on this thing, on this map, on Erlenberg. Plus a little bit of luck is always good. Right now is one of those, I guess I would call it turkey moments. I don't recommend doing this shit, but, you know, we're going to get away with it because it's low tiers and, well, just memes. And the joy of no pen is costing us some hit points here. But we come out on top against 2 tanks, 2 equal, well, one was tier 5, but 2 tiers, 2 heavy tanks. You see a lot of these tanks just kind of YOLO and die more than a lot of other lights. I mean, you see a lot of lights that are just straight up just, yeah, doing that a lot. But more often than not, when you see snake bites, I tend to not see them do very well damage-wise, personally. They're usually all dead by the end of the game. And it's kind of understandable. Either they flip or they just are way, way, way too aggressive. Like, always moving. So you don't always have to move in this tank. Again, sniping's not recommended because .41 accuracy is trash. But yeah, we're making it work a little bit here on the T-71, even at like over 500 meters. So yeah, also has 64 rounds of ammo. You can kind of be a little generous. I haven't had an issue running out in it yet. I'm sure it'll happen at some point, but my best games have been just under 3K damage, raw damage so far. So, and these are the two, I believe, unless I maybe had one of the lost. But so this tank probably fits, and the reason I want it because it really fits my style of play, I think. And people want it. Some people ask me, why don't you have the snake bite? It like is your perfect. It's like the LTTB and the fact that I'm gonna play it like super aggressive like this. Great, you see the gun troll me for about 5 shots in a row, and then we get an ammo rack. RNG is fun, but yeah, and then bounce off the rear of a Artie. But yeah, nice game. 6 kills, 2700 damage. Really fun game to have on stream. But again, it's just a tank that, on paper, should fit me very well. Just how aggressive I can be in my lights. And you can see that that's fairly true. I really haven't been enjoying. I have been enjoying this tank. Sorry. But yeah, it's been fun. Again, it's tier 6, so for me, I don't play it too much. It's kind of like the T50-2 as well. That's another tank that's pretty similar to this, except for you roll that thing like every match. But again, it's just the tier 6 isn't quite for me. Now, it's all great and dandy, I guess, when you're in that tank and you get a wide open map like that, or Proc or Malinovka. But the fun is really when you get, you know, the great city maps like this that are just fantastic for light tanks. Yeah, you don't want to turn on or to load into the game and, oh, here's Ruinberg, here's Himmelsdorf. Even more so than some other lights, because this thing really relies on the speed. There's no armor, truly. That's really going to consistently bounce anything. You'll get some freak stuff just because of how fast you're moving. So they'll bounce like maybe off top of your engine deck or something like that at a weird angle. Because again, you're just moving so quickly most of the time that it's hard to really truly aim the shot. You kind of just put it towards the general gist of where the tank's going to be at for firing snake bites. What's it? Again, that's disgusting. But the best way to deal with these things, because I know they're, at least from my experience playing tier 6, they're a little annoying to fight because they move so quick, is if you get the opportunity to track them, try to take it. Whether that means they get, sorry about that, but whether they get splashed by Artie and then tracks get taken off, or you get a lucky tracking shot, take advantage of it, because you don't want to let this thing just get on the move again. It'll be a nightmare to try to hit. It really is. If you can do it, the best thing is probably to ram it, because again, no armor, and you'll definitely detrack it, almost guaranteed. But I'm not saying go out of the way to try to ram it. You can run into trouble. But yeah, just a fun tank. I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying a couple other tanks. I don't think I got a chance to play this during the +1 -1, to be fair. I don't know what that was. But yeah. So I think I'm trying, I don't know, to come up with some more vid ideas. The play-by-play is good. I definitely want to do something with talking about like how I use third-person aiming a lot, and also when I use the ARC-BRT, which you probably see quite prevalently in a lot of the vids, and just kind of that aiming aspect of it, which I can probably do in similar fashion to the handbrake vid. I'm not saying that'll be out anytime soon because that generally takes me a couple hours, and usually I only have that time on the weekends. And frankly, the next 2 weekends I will probably be out of town. So for anybody watching on Twitch, don't expect any streams. Like I said, summer's busy for me, but eventually I expect that vid. Maybe if I get some free time, I can work on that. But it's something I've been thinking about. I've gotten questions about that before. Just some general tips, I guess, on how I like to, or how I make use of the third person to aim while I'm also moving, especially in scouts. It can apply to any light or any tank class, but it's something I kind of want to cover a little bit. And you can see right now, this is where me saying, yeah, this tank fits me kind of perfectly comes into play. Playing like a complete maniac, driving through about 4 of their tanks right there. Technically 6 if you want to count the Tiger. And yeah, just complete madness. And you see the total lack of pen right now, as we're just bouncing off the Oni rear. And I'm not sure why it took me this long to get up next to him. It's really a bad idea that I let him get that long. But now I'm going to basically just use the old ELC AMX strategy of, you know, side-hugging in the Japanese heavies. It's always a good feeling. But again, another quick-paced game. Don't know what hit little, yeah. Sorry if this was a little all over the place, but yeah, maybe a little rust after a week and a half of vacation. But yeah, I hope you get some idea of some of the topics I'm going over. I want to get working on that vid. And yeah, I do probably have some other decent gameplays that I have. Do some of the classic play-by-play, but this is more just an update vid on where I'm at and a little bit of thoughts and feelings about this tank that I got about a month or so ago, 2 months ago probably at this point. But yeah, you're not going to play this thing to make silver, by the way. At least I don't, especially when I have close to 70 million silver now. The joy of not having any tank lines to grind. It's kind of the fact of the matter, truthfully, is that I don't have a need to really grind, or I don't have a desire to grind any of the tank lines that are out right now. None of them just really appeal to me that are left. I gotta keep looking through my garage, and maybe I'll buy some new tanks. But until the next time, hopefully a couple days or a day or so, I will see you then. Peace.